Welcome back to my channel. So I've noticed that recently a video that has gotten a lot of views very quickly is my Rocky Mountain National Park hike video. So I thought I would do an updated version of that because people have left me some suggestions, and honestly I just feel like I know what I'm doing more now. So I'm going to do an updated version of that hike for you guys, or that video for you guys. So I don't know if it's going to be exactly 5, it might even be more than 5, but these are my favorite hikes of Rocky Mountain National Park. These are ones that we bring people to do when they come visit, and these are my favorites. So I thought I would go ahead and tell you what they are. The first hike that I want to talk about that I absolutely love is called Lily Mountain, and it is my favorite because, one, it's dog friendly, and obviously I have a dog. And it's dog friendly, which is really neat. It is also my favorite because you have panoramic views at the very top, which means you have like a complete 360 view. So when you get to the top, you're really summiting a mountain, which I think is cool. Like, you can go home and say like you summited a mountain, which is cool. And it just is a beautiful hike. Like, the whole hike up is really pretty. It is a harder hike, so if I were you, I would take your time with it, and I wouldn't rush it, especially if you are not acclimated, just because I feel like it could be a hike that could be hard for people that are not acclimated just with breathing, because it is straight up mountain if you come. Just know that it is outside the park, and it's kind of hard to see when you get to it. Like, when you go to park, it's like right off the side of the road, the parking lot is, and it's not even a parking lot, you just park on the side of the road. But there's not usually a lot of people that are parked there, because this is one that a lot of tourists don't go to. It's more like, I would say, people that live here do that hike, so it's a great one. It won't be crowded. It's awesome. So I would definitely do that. The next hike that I would recommend is Dream Lake hike, and this is a hike that is in the park, and if you want to get to it, you can park in Bear Lake parking lot, or you can take the shuttle up to Bear Lake parking lot. So that Dream Lake is a really good one. I would say it's about 3 miles up to the top of Dream Lake, and you get to see, I think 3 lakes. You start at Bear Lake, and then I believe you go up to Lily Lake, I think is what it's called. It might not be Lily Lake. Lily Pad Lake? I don't know. You get to Bear Lake, and then another lake, and then you get to Dream Lake. And it is beautiful up there, and on your way up you get this really pretty view of just like all of Estes, which is really neat. So I would definitely say to do that hike for sure. It's not dog friendly, which is sad, but it's a really pretty hike. The next hike that I want to talk about has something to do with Dream Lake. So if you get to Dream Lake and you're like, okay, like, we're not done yet, we want to keep going, you can either go to your right and go up Emerald Lake, or go to your left and go up Lake Hiyaha. Both are super pretty hikes. We recently did Lake Hiyaha, and that one I've only done once. I've done Emerald Lake a few times, but Lake Hiyaha is beautiful, and I wish I would have done it sooner. It basically is turquoise, like, the lake is just turquoise, and I've heard people that have come to visit that say they don't like it so much, but I think it's awesome. So I think you'll just have to decide for yourself which hike you'd rather do, but I will include both the details for those hikes on my little picture slide, so you can decide which one is best for you. The next hike that I want to talk about is Alberta Falls, and that hike you can park at Glacier Gorge again, or you can park at Bear Lake. Bear Lake, you have like a really steady slope down and then steep up to get to Alberta Falls. If you can park at Glacier Gorge, it's like a steep up, but then you're done, and then you can just go down, versus like having to go up a really slow and steady steep up is, I think, harder than going like more severe up, but it's up to you. You can also get there early and park in Glacier Gorge, or you can take the shuttle up to Glacier Gorge or to Bear Lake. So both those work. Alberta Falls is absolutely gorgeous. It's a really pretty waterfall if you are if you are wanting to see a waterfall in the mountains. So that one is definitely really, really neat. The next hike that I would suggest is probably my all-time favorite that is in the park. Sky Pond is probably the best hike I have ever been on and one of the most challenging hikes I have ever been on. Sky Pond, I believe, is around 9 miles, and it has a pretty big elevation gain. So you can start down at Glacier Gorge again, or you can start at Bear Lake, but I would start at Glacier Gorge because when you hike up from Bear Lake and you get to the very end, you're not going to want to hike up that steady, steep upgrade like you would when you park at Bear Lake. So if you park at Bear Lake, you're going to have to go uphill when you go back down, but if you park at Glacier Gorge, you'll just go all the way down, and there'll not be as many ups. So I love this hike. You get to see the lock on the way, and then I'm pretty sure there's other sites along the way that you get to see, but you have to climb up a waterfall when you get to the very top, which I think is so neat, and it's just like beautiful. Like, I absolutely loved this hike, and I actually did it on the day that I got Willow, which is really cool too. So this hike is amazing if you are like really into mountains and really into hiking. The next hike that I wanted to bring up is called the Alluvial Fan. The Alluvial Fan was caused by a big dam in Estes, and it broke and all the water flooded down and the rocks fell down. So I think that's pretty crazy, but that hike is cool. It's basically just rock climbing, and you can climb up as high as you want to go. So it's like a big jungle gym of rock climbing for your kids if you have kids and you're not afraid of them falling into a waterfall. But anyways, it sounds really bad. They don't have to climb it right next to the waterfall. You can either climb the rocks up next to the waterfall, or you can climb it a little bit away. But that one's really neat for sure. So yeah, that one I don't really have a lot of information on because you can choose how high you want to hike up it. The last hike that I wanted to bring up that's in Rocky Mountain National Park that I just think is great for anyone in the family is Sprague Lake. Sprague Lake is like this big lake that you can hike around, and it's really flat. You don't really gain any elevation at all, and you can park right at Sprague Lake, and it is beautiful. And I would say like it'd be great for like grandparents or just people that I guess are not really into hiking, that aren't from here, that aren't really acclimated. So Sprague Lake is a great one, and I will include the details for that one next. Alright, so those were definitely my favorite hikes in Rocky Mountain National Park and around Rocky Mountain National Park. There are other hikes around, like there's a hike at, I think it's called Hermit Park, and it's called Cross the Air Mountain, and that one is really neat. There's also a hike, I think it's Cross the Air Mountain, there's also a hike called Kruger Rock that is really cool. So there are other hikes around Rocky Mountain National Park that I didn't mention that I will link down below if you want to see them. So anyways, I hope this video helped you out. I hope it helped you plan your trip, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching.